violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. And let's get into the video. So guys, the first video I want to show you is coming out of Baltimore until we get into the main event. But these are the street vendors, if you will, selling services. The young disenfranchised black men, allegedly, right? They're over here washing windows and whatnot. And this happens in Atlanta too. We got water boys, we got window washers, we got all types of dudes who stand at every exit and they're trying to quote unquote hustle, as they call it. A lot of them get an attitude if you don't do business with them, okay? And which is inevitably bad business, which is why different cities are cracking down on this type of stuff. But you have this young brother. He's trying to wash the windows and get some bread from this other brother. You could tell he's a brother too. But he refuses. He says, nah, I'm good. And then let's watch how he reacts. So the quote says, Baltimore is not safe. These people forcibly started cleaning our windows at a red light. When I started recording him, he began aggressively banging on our window. Thank God the light turned green. Yeah, he probably would have shot the whip up.
Baltimore is not safe. Baltimore is not
Wow. Let's run that back.
safe. Baltimore is
I would have had to lay Buddy down. I would have opened the window up and he would have got a 5-piece chicken and biscuit. I would have had to put them hollows through, bruh. Honestly, because it makes no sense. It makes no sense why you get rejected. Nobody wants your little window washing service. That's why you got the windshield wipers and your washer fluid, right? It's the same damn thing. Like, nobody wants that joint. Like, we already have that service built into our vehicle. It just shows you, like, the thought process and the quote-unquote business savvy is a lot of times it's just not there.
not safe.
Now at 11, breaking news. Shot in the head while pushing a baby in a stroller. A mother murdered at point blank on the Upper East Side. Good evening. I'm Christine Johnson.
She called.
I'm Maurice Dubois. Police say that 3-month-old infant was not harmed.
The NYPD giving an update just moments ago on the search for the gunman now. CBS 2's Nick Calloway live at the scene with the latest. Nick?
Well, Christina, Maurice, it's just a shocking story. The woman was pushing that stroller here on East 95th Street near Lexington when a man came up from behind and shot her in the head. It happened around 8:20 p.m. tonight, right next to the Samuel Seabury Playground.
What did I tell you about these femmes? Honestly, I don't even know who did this. We don't know yet. But these dudes are out here and they don't care if you're a woman. They said equality. Oh, you want equality? They putting the strap to the back of the dome in public. This is disgusting, bro. I mean, it's insane. These super gremlins are on demon time.
The 20-year-old mother was shot once and pronounced dead at Metropolitan Hospital. The 3-month-old baby was not injured. Just a little while ago, we heard from the mayor who said illegal guns are too accessible.
When a mother's pushing a baby carriage down the block, or an individual, a woman is pushing a baby carriage down the block and is shot in point blank range, it shows just how this national problem is impacting families.
And he's not lying. It is a national problem. But what you gonna do about New York, bro? Don't just, I mean, a lot of these dudes like to, oh, well, it's happening all across the country, not just New York. But yo, it's on fire in New York.
And it doesn't matter if you are on the Upper East Side or East New York, Brooklyn.
Cops are canvassing cameras in the area to figure out where the woman was coming from and what may have prompted that shooting. It does appear that the young woman was targeted, though it's not clear why. Police sources tell us the woman was carrying a Staten Island ID. Police say the shooter fled the scene on foot, and so far, no arrests have been made. We're live on the Upper East Side. Nick Calloway, CBS 2 News.
All right, Nick, thank you.
This morning, authorities are searching for the gunman who killed a woman pushing a baby in a stroller on Manhattan's Upper East Side last night. CNN's Polo Sandoval joins us now with the very latest on this. Polo, what have you learned?
Guys, it's been an absolutely heartbreaking night last night in New York City. This 20-year-old woman walking through the city's Upper East Side with an infant in a baby carriage shot point blank in the head and killed. Police say that the child was not physically harmed when the gunman wearing a hoodie walked up behind her and then pulled a trigger. Now, we do know that the woman is believed to be the mother of the 3-month-old that was at the scene, according to several law enforcement officials speaking to my colleagues.
Wow, so did y'all call the baby daddy? Or do we know who the baby daddy is? A lot of questions.
But still the big question about a possible motive. And this morning, that massive manhunt continues, as does the New York City mayor's outrage.
And it doesn't matter if you are on the Upper East Side or East New York, Brooklyn. The oversaturation of guns and dangerous people that repeatedly...
There he goes, talking about the guns. When are they gonna learn? Y'all already outlawed the guns in New York. It's over, bruh. It's over. As a matter of fact, I wish this woman would have had a gun so she could have a chance to defend herself. I mean, honestly, she didn't see it coming. But, bro, you can't just blame the gun, bro. Because if he wanted her, he would have used any weapon. It doesn't matter.
Leave our criminal justice system to continue actions like this. It is what's making the New York City Police Department and other law enforcement agencies here in New York, across the country, difficult to fight this issue.
And some important reporting from our colleagues as well. It speaks more about what happened yesterday. Investigators were actually able to determine not only the child's age, but also the identity of the woman based on various domestic incident reports on which the name of the victim appears. So that could potentially speak to a possible motive as this investigation continues.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Medgar Evers, and it's a very tranquil scene compared to just a couple hours ago where a drive-by shooting just took place. Excuse me, I'm getting live updates as we speak. I've just been updated to the amount of casualties from this drive-by shooting, and I'm getting reports that 2 people were actually declared deceased and 27 others were shot and injured, but are in stable condition. And although we must pray for the families of the fallen, we must also praise God for the aim of the super gremlin. If you want to know more about the victims of this crime, make sure you add BGZM News 17 on Patreon at www.patreon.com/blackgenzmindset. Also, don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment on the video to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this gun violence in the streets. For more hard-hitting news coverage from the community, by the community, I'm Janquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
And cut.
All right, dog. Let's get the out of here for these niggas come back.
Whoa. Yo! Ain't that nigga J?
Nah, that ain't me. That ain't me.
He just went live
That
with
ain't
that
me.
funky ass suit
That's
on.
that nigga. That's not me.
Hey, get that nigga.
Janquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia. Pray for me.
Begin with that young mother gunned down while simply walking with
She cold.
her baby on a summer evening. Tonight, we are hearing from the victim's own mother.
So it's a sister, it looks like, or Afro-Latina. Very cute baby. Lashes, OD, definitely. RIP to this woman. Very beautiful woman. You know, what are we doing? Who do you think did this? Put in the chat. Was it a burrito gremlin, super gremlin, glider gremlin, right? Sand gremlin, even. They might like the light-skinned idiots, right? Who do you think did this? Okay, rice gremlin.
Cops now say text messages recovered from her phone reveal she had been planning to meet her ex-boyfriend at a park.
Eyewitness News reporter Kimberly Richardson.
Well, there it goes. The ex. Now, can we get a ID on him?
Is live on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, where police are searching for the killer tonight. Kim.
Well, Liz, and that meeting was supposed to happen right here near this park, but clearly Azsia was worried things would not end well. The couple had a volatile relationship, one Azia's mother agonized over.
I knew it was going to come to this, and I told my daughter this.
Lisa's
and she is beautiful, but guess who she's dealing with? The worst of the worst in the community. I mean, you can't make this up. From the not so good looking women to the very attractive woman. I mean, she's definitely up there. She's definitely up there, like 8, 9, 10 material. And she's dealing with a POS super gremlin on demon time.
20-year-old daughter Azsia Johnson, who was fatally shot at point-blank range here on East 95th Street off Lexington Wednesday night. The mother of two was walking, pushing her 3-month-old daughter in a stroller when she was targeted. Sources tell Eyewitness News Azsia planned to meet the baby's father at a nearby park to work things out. But she was scared.
For some reason, she felt like she needed to be tracked, so she texted her sister and said, listen, this is my location, just in case.
That was right around 8:15 in the evening. The phone did track to this park.
It was like extremely loud, like a boom.
And then the hospital. Azsia was dead. The bullet that hit her then struck this parked car.
I text my daughter, Azsia, call me, because she wasn't answering the phone.
She's destroyed. I could hear her screaming last night.
Ebony is a neighbor and good friend, tells me Azsia adored her daughter and son, who turns 2 in August.
She just never wanted confrontation. She just wanted to raise her kids and just grow. She was quiet. She never had a problem with nobody.
Except her daughter's father. In January, Azsia filed a complaint against the 24-year-old for assaulting her in Queens.
What's his name? What's his identity, man?
Lisa begged Azsia to leave him.
He beat her up when she was 6 months pregnant. I told her, if he beats you up once, he's gonna beat you up again.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, ladies, this is what you got to realize if you're listening to the sound of my voice. If he beats you, he will kill you. Straight up. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If he puts his hands on you, if he beats you, he will not hesitate to take your life. These super gremlins are on demon time.
Azsia was staying at this shelter in East Harlem, but hoped to one day become a pediatric nurse.
Azsia was a good person, and she ain't deserved that. Some people are out there, not Azsia.
And Azia's baby girl.
And you can guarantee that this sister is one of the wokest. Pretend the police is doing it. Oh my God, it's ridiculous.
And she ain't deserved that. Some people are out there, not Azsia.
And Azia's baby girl was not hurt in all this. Police are looking to now speak with the infant's father, who may be staying with family here in the city. And at 6:30 tonight, a candlelight vigil right here.
And speaking of guns, an emotional gathering tonight on Manhattan's Upper East Side.
Yep. Could have called it. Candlelight vigil, balloon release. When is the community gonna wake up? How many sea turtles have to wash up on the shore? Okay.
At the scene where a 20-year-old mother was shot in the head and killed last night while walking her 3-month-old baby. Cops still searching for the killer, and they say now they want to talk to the father of the victim's baby. Here's Eyewitness News reporter Josh Eininger.
Before family members could have a vigil for a 20-year-old mother who was executed in front of a playground, firefighters responders had to wash her blood from the sidewalk where she died.
Who saw my daughter get murdered?
And Azsia Johnson's mother, Lisa DeSort, said she knew this would happen.
So she was biracial, it looks like.
I kept telling them he's threatening my daughter's life, and they didn't believe me. And now my daughter's dead.
And now they're gonna blame the police, obviously. No accountability for the super gremlin. He seems to skirt accountability in all of these femicidal scenarios that we do on this channel.
And this is why we're here.
She told the mayor tonight she had pleaded with her local police precinct to protect Azsia from the father of Asia's 3-month-old baby. But at dusk last night, police say Azsia and the baby's father planned a meeting in this park at 95th and Lex. And as she pushed the baby in a stroller, someone shot her point blank in the head and ran away. It's exactly what Azia's mother predicted, but she claims she got nowhere when she tried to stop it.
This is what happens when you're dealing with deprived community. This is what happens when you're dealing with underserved community. It's
the what community? Hold on, what is she deprived? This has nothing to do with the financial. What is she talking about? This is straight up domestic violence. They couldn't work things out. He didn't want to let her go, so he killed her. If he can't be with her, nobody can. This is all about the community. This is all about these super gremlins. Look at she's blaming everything else but the individual that did it. Of course, it's going to be a sister.
But she claims she got nowhere when she tried to stop it.
This is what happens when you're dealing with deprived community. This is what happens when you're dealing with underserved community. It's been happening to us for years, and we're tired.
Just yesterday in the Bronx, there was another allegation of inaction. This time, a 7-year-old girl whose grandmother says caseworkers ignored warning signs of abuse at the hands of the girl's mother and half-brother, now indicted in her murder. Mayor Adams tonight.
And what is the city's responsibility to make sure that these DV cases are being handled appropriately?
Yeah, and
well, you need proof for one, and then the victims have to be able to say something. We do see a lot of these scenarios where CPS, it's a bureaucratic process. They're going through the process. They the last story that we did where that woman had her kid in the broken freezer, you know, CPS was doing an investigation on her, but they ended up giving the children back to her, which is wild. But it happened. You know, a lot of times you don't really have any say, because you'll have these people saying, oh, well, you shouldn't separate a family. You shouldn't separate a mother from her child. But then when she's abusive and all this kind of stuff, they still hold to those principles in theory. Like, you know, I know this happened. We talked to her. Everything checks out. They do their little formal investigation. And if she cleans the place up and makes it look right for a day, then she's going to get her kids back, point blank.
we will look at the records. Of my understanding, there were old DV records. The officers made visits. We're going to make sure they get the counseling they need, and we're focused on that, and the agencies will do their necessary investigation.
Police confirm a history of domestic complaints between Azsia Johnson and the father of her baby, but they have not yet named him publicly as a suspect, and at this hour, still no arrest.
Earlier this evening, at approximately 8:23 p.m., officers responded to a report of a person shot opposite 164 East 95th Street. Upon arrival, officers discovered a 20-year-old female who was unconscious with a gunshot wound to her head. EMS responded to the scene, transported the victim to Metropolitan Hospital, where she was pronounced deceased at 9:20 p.m. Our preliminary investigation revealed the 20-year-old victim was pushing an approximately 3-month-old in a baby stroller on East 95th Street when an unknown person approached her and fired a single shot into her head from a very close range. Immediately after the shooting, the suspect fled the scene on foot, heading eastbound on East 95th Street. He is described as a male who was last seen wearing a hooded sweatshirt.
Just a male? Are you serious? A male with a hoodie. That's every other dude in New York. I mean, that is ridiculous, man.
5th Street. He is described as a male who was last seen wearing a hooded sweatshirt, sweatpants, and black pants, all black. At this time, there are no arrests.
This entire day, we have been addressing the problem of the overproliferation of guns on our street, how readily accessible they are.
There he goes, blaming the guns. Y'all already outlawed the guns, but yet they still keep coming under you're not going to do anything about the guns. Guns are here to stay. There's no way you're going to eradicate guns, okay? I guarantee this guy has priors. He should have been in jail. He should have been in prison. And the criminal justice system, the racist criminal justice system, let him out.
They are, and how there is just no fear in using these guns on innocent New Yorkers. These are real story, real lives. When a mother's pushing a baby carriage down the block, or an individual, a woman is pushing a baby carriage down the block and is shot in point blank range, it shows just how this national problem is impacting families.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.